What's up, world? This is Stefan.
And this is Mark.
And this is the Likeable Assholes podcast. We back at it. And I like to say I'm sorry to someone who I accused of being guilty.
Yeah, okay, we'll start off being facetious.
Listen. Okay, Jesse Smollett, all the charges are dropped. Okay, he had to pay a fine and agreed to doing a community service, which he did with the Rainbow Coalition. And and a lot of conservatives weren't very happy with such a position. They didn't believe justice was served, and neither did the sheriff of the police department, and neither did Rahm Emanuel. He was pretty furious as he held 2 press conferences and was on Good Morning America, I believe.
He'll be okay. He'll be all right. You know, for all of us who know the names of Jordan Davis, Trayvon Martin, Philando Castile, all those names that get shifted in our head back and forth as we sleep at night. Those of us that are black, we just like to say those who are conservative and white, who feel like this is a travesty of justice, join the club.
Stephon Clark.
I mean,
yeah. Just naming a few.
All right, but
Tamir Rice. All right, Mike Brown. All right, I'll stop. I'll stop.
Okay, yeah.
I will stop.
We'll stop.
Philando Castile. All right. Austin Sterling. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop. But no, what's funny is how Rahm Emanuel is talking so boldly and so matter-of-factly, and just can't believe that this guy walked, and he's so disgusted, right, by the whole thing. And he went on to mention, the resources that he said the FBI they're doing an investigation to see how much it all costs to do the investigation on Jesse, and what they're going to do is they're going to charge that money. They're going to send him an invoice for the the money that they spend, the resources to find his alleged hate attacks, right? And listen, I think Jesse set up this whole fiasco. Don't get me wrong, right? But here's one thing that's funny. He's so worried about the cost that it took and the money that they spent to investigate this situation with Jesse. But over the last 14 years, the Chicago Police Department has spent slightly over $700 million paying that to police brutality victims.
You keep saying that number specifically. You know, in mathematics, when they teach you when you go above 5, you might as well round it up.
Yeah.
So $1 billion.
Okay, about $1 billion. They've spent nearly $1 billion over the last 14 years.
Yes.
On police brutality victims.
Police brutality and oppression and injustice.
And you're worried about Jesse? I find that a bit hypocritical. But that's me.
Me as well. Let's look at some of the statements that was made by the district attorney. She had some things she had to say, and the prosecutor.
Okay. And you know what? I think they're so pissed off because Jesse was treated like a man of stature, like a man of wealth. He was treated like any rich white person who commits a class 4 felony. And that's what this was. A false police report, that's a class 4 felony. You get what I'm saying? Like, no one does time for this. Like, not serious time. Not people with money. They don't do time for this. They pick up garbage on the side of the road and they pay their fine. That's what rich people do. But wealth has not been privy and is not common in the black society. Like, being rich is not common for black people. Like, believe it or not. So when you see Jesse being treated like a wealthy white man, they were outraged. They were pissed off. They couldn't believe it. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. When Robert Kraft got caught with a prostitute and the exact same thing happened to him, they gave him a fine and they made him do community service. And that was it. That, like, what are these conservatives really mad about? What are these Republicans really mad about? Is it really justice? Is it really? I found the same hypocrisy that they had with this, the same one they had with OJ. OJ was not the first person to get away with murder. He wasn't. Probably the first black man to get away with murder. But he wasn't the first person to get away with murder. Okay?
No, it was not.
Because those kids, those people who killed Emmett Till, let's not forget they walked.
And let's not forget Byron Bala Beckwith, who killed our...
Della Beckwith.
How you say it?
Della Beckwith.
Della Beckwith. I apologize. He killed Medgar Evers on his front porch on his way home to his family from church.
And bragged about it for years.
And never did not 1 year time for over 30 years.
Yep. So let's not forget about that. And the only reason it was even retried is because Medgar Evers' wife kept pressing the issue.
Mm-hmm.
She never stayed silent. She never forgot.
No.
So had it not been for her, she wouldn't have been the catalyst. She was the catalyst for that to happen. So let's not forget about that.
Hey, what was the name of that movie? Ghost of Mississippi with her and Whoopi Goldberg. She played it.
Oh, they made a movie about it?
Yes, it's a movie called Ghost of Mississippi with Whoopi Goldberg and what's that dude? Alec Baldwin, I think. Called Ghost of Mississippi. I heard of Ghost of Mississippi. I've never seen it, but yeah, I heard. I had no idea it was about Medgar Evers. Otherwise, I would have watched it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, now you wanted to read the comments from the district attorney?
District attorney. Yeah. Here we go. Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx is open to an outside investigation into her office's decision to drop all charges against Jussie Smollett. The prosecutor, who wrote in a newspaper editorial, Fox said in Friday night for the Chicago Tribune that a review about prosecutors' decision to dismiss all 16 felony counts against the Empire actor would help maintain transparency. The dismissal drew an immediate rebuke from Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson, with the mayor calling it a whitewash of justice.
Oh, their choice of words.
Yeah, their choice of words. What?
So
I mean, I wanted to laugh when I heard that too when I read it. Yeah. Hey. I'm not perfect, nor is any other prosecutor out here, but ensuring that I and my office have our community's trust is paramount, Fox wrote. Smollett was accused of faking a racist anti-gay attack on himself in January.
Right.
While Fox said Tuesday's decision to drop the charges does not exonerate Smollett, as the actor has claimed, she indicated that some of the evidence made getting a conviction is uncertain and possibly tampered.
Right, and understand that that there's still an ongoing investigation.
Tampered.
Right, there's still an ongoing investigation about those hate letters he sent himself. like, let's not forget that. Mm-hmm. Like, so until all that clears up, you know, this is what it is. Mm-hmm. Right, you know what I'm saying? And even then, it's what is that? That's not that. Like I said, that's I think.
While Fox said Tuesday's decision to drop the charges does not exonerate him, like I said, in determining whether or not to pursue charges, prosecutors are required to balance the severity of the crime against the likelihood of securing a conviction. Fox wrote, for a variety of reasons, my office believed the likelihood of securing a conviction was not certain. Police maintain that Smollett staged the attack to promote his career. In Chicago, officials have ordered him to pay more than $130,000 to cover the cost of the investigation. Fox said Smollett alleged unstable actions have probably caused him more harm than any court-ordered penance could. But she added that jail should be reversed for those who commit violent crimes.
Right, right. And that's the thing, like,
reserved, yeah.
You can't. This is literally a victimless crime.
Reserved.
Literally, like, he didn't do anything but waste people's time.
Hold on.
See, and that's why women don't trust niggas like that. Cause niggas like Jesse, that's the reason black women don't trust these niggas.
Dig me for a second. Feel me for a second.
I'm listening. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I can't say it's victimless. There were protests in the very beginning when there was some suspicion over whether or not he had did it. Because there were some actual crimes that were committed this night at the same time that he said he did this mess, that the police, remember we discussed this, they removed him off those cases just so they could help get affirmation on what happened to him.
Well, their problem, that's their problem. They treated a celebrity more special than they did regular citizens. Where does it tell you to do that? Where in the police manual does it ever tell you that? Where does it ever tell you to put priority over other people?
Public
they did that on Sunday. They did that.
Public outcries.
They didn't have to.
They didn't have
you
to.
don't crumble to public opinion. Listen, if everybody crumbled to public opinion, Kobe would have finished his career as a Chicago Bull. Like let's keep in mind. Like if everybody crumbled under public opinion, Ben Roethlisberger would not be a Steeler right now. Okay? Like, you don't, just because the fan base or the public is saying something, you are still in charge. Something happens. It's not like, oh, because the people, well, the people wanted me to do it. No, nigga, you're in charge, not the people. You are. That's why they elected you as a sheriff.
Now, okay. Now I'm gonna ask you this: when you say public opinion and public outcry, let's look at the situation in Chicago, same city. 16 years ago, a young man by the name of Yummy Summerford, okay, who was trying to get involved in a gang and joined this gang, and this gang was called, I believe, the Vice Lords.
Okay.
And there was basically an initiation he was asked to do, where he was asked to shoot into a crowd of people in line at a concert or something of that nature.
I remember that. I remember that happening.
He killed a young girl who I believe was around 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
So where you going with this?
Now, when this young man went on the run and went into hiding, a lot of public outcry went into demand of justice by the police to find this young man. And they could not find him at first because of the amount of hiding and ducks and crannies and how large the projects were at this time. They were not destroyed.
Man, it's hard to get niggas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was at this time.
It's hard to get niggas out in the projects, man.
Now, what ended up happening, the gang ended up murdering this young man. Now, as we understand life and understand public outcry is a powerful thing. The police didn't do their best to try to find this young dude, a lot of the public says, before he was murdered by this gang. Because this is the thing. Was this young 11-year-old boy...
Oh, he was 11?
Yeah, he wasn't even a teenager, man. No. He was not even... Yummy Summerford was not even a teenager. Tupac used to talk about him in some of his songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I never heard of him until just now.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing about that situation.
If
the police had acted on the public outcry and demands of the public to find this young man at first, he may have lived, and this gang may have been put into an issue where they have been held account for their actions and stopped the violence before it escalated to the terms of what we are talking and discussing now.
Okay.
I'm trying to word it right. Public outcry is a motherfucker. Am I saying it right?
I mean, I'm trying to figure out where public outcry came from. What part?
Yeah, the public wanted to really find the justice for this. But nobody knew who it was that killed this girl. But it was gossip and rumors amongst the street, especially the east side of Chicago, in regards to who this boy was and trying to find him. Okay? And then they finally found him. But they found him dead. They had already killed him. But if the police didn't take the whole situation that serious in that aspect, they were looking for him, but it almost took a riot for them to get up off their ass to actually try to find this young man. But once it got hot and the heat came, the gang had already killed this youngster. So when I look at stuff like that and I say, with Jesse Smollett, is it a victimless crime?
Yes. Yes. No one got hurt.
Were there victims taken off those cases though, in that aspect? And then whose fault is that in that aspect? How can we look at it? Give me something to work with that. How, like, if, like, allegedly there was a sexual assault that
what's
that
the
same night
what's
on a 17-year-old young lady who was on her way from work at a Walmart.
Hold on. You said that same night. A young lady was raped, right?
Sexual assault on her way from work at Walmart.
On her way to her home.
But that case, allegedly that case, cops were removed off that case to look for the people who assaulted this fool. You feel where I'm coming from, man?
I hear you, but that's still victimless crime.
It bothers me a little bit.
Okay.
Help me out.
You said, hold on. You saying it took cops off the case, right?
The cops were taken off that case.
Cops, as in plural, right? Yeah. So there's multiple cops, right? That means there was still a cop left, right?
There was still
Okay. No, victimless crime.
Okay. All right.
I mean, let's be honest. If the case is unsolved, it's still like you can leave a case, go to this one, solve this one, then come back. It's not like they forgot about her and dropped it completely.
But
and listen, even if let's say they spent all their time and didn't go check on it, that didn't guarantee that they were going to find who did it.
But
no. Hold on. That didn't guarantee they were going to find who did it, and it wasn't a preventive thing. So one, you can't untraumatize her. She's already been through it.
I get that. However, you do realize with sexual assault and rape cases, the more time you let pass, the more possibilities of you finding an actual conviction.
And how long did it take for us to find out Jesse was lying?
That's
a day and a half.
Well, we knew it, bruh. Really? Come on.
It took us a day and a half to figure out he was lying?
An hour, really.
It didn't take them long.
Yeah, they knew that.
So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like months and weeks.
This is what I'm going to say. They went through the motions, but they didn't believe his ass.
No one believed
Nobody
him.
did.
Like I said, the sheriff, he called bullshit from the muscle.
He didn't say it in those words.
He didn't say it, but he called it. Now, I don't think he believed for a second.
But yeah, I mean, when you say victimless, yes, physically victimless, yeah. But I think about
let's say he's not Jesse, right? Let's say he's Daryl.
Does he owe the city money?
Daryl Campbell. Let's say he's Daryl Campbell and he makes a false report saying he was jumped by some whatchamacallits, and they don't pull people off. Is it now a victimless crime? Daryl Walkins, who works at AT&T, decides that he was jumped by some guys wearing MAGA hats, but really wasn't. So do they pull people off of Daryl? No, they don't.
They don't. They'll do their job. Boy, they'll
go investigate. They'll go look around, search around, but they're not going to pull anybody off a rape case.
But here go the thing.
A sexual assault case.
Here go the thing. Hundreds of gay people in New York. Hundreds of gay people in Chicago going to
especially heinous.
Going to send emails.
They give these to
and
special
complaints in drop boxes to cops.
Known as Special Victims Unit.
See, you cracking jokes though, man. But check this out. The gay community really acting stupid about this mess. And they're large in the Midwest.
What part are they mad about?
At first. They were upset.
Okay.
Initially,
Oh,
they were
right.
and they demanded justice. And
but I didn't know.
They didn't feel like they were being taken seriously.
I will say this.
You know,
I personally did not know if it was on his sexual orientation or if he was attacked for his race.
They made it multiple.
I didn't know.
Multiple things.
I didn't know which one.
It was multiple things according to the assault.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can pick your which one you want to hate about him.
Now, as far as the evidence go,
and they hate him because he was light skinned too.
It's a physically victimless crime. But do you feel like he owes the city money with this $100?
No, I think he owes the city an apology though, and that's what the sheriff said. I think you owe the city an apology.
Okay.
Because you're sitting there lying. Like Chicago has enough BS already.
That's all I wanted you to concur with me.
Like,
yeah, man.
You didn't have. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You got real victims out here.
Acknowledge the real victim.
It's not like you were in.
Right.
I don't know. Some rural city and did this. You know.
Yeah.
You did this in a city that
he was not in Dothan, Alabama.
Let's be clear.
Okay.
You did this in Chirac.
Thank you. Not Pig Feet, Mississippi.
Right.
Or Blumhouse, Connecticut, or
Huntsville, Georgia.
or
like Lamar, Texas. You did this in a big city that's heavy crime, organized crime, gangs, poverty. This is where you
the whole nine.
Yeah.
The history of organized crime is in Chicago.
You owe the city an apology.
Yeah,
I mean, just do that.
You really do, dude. You really do.
That's it.
And we concur. We both agree on that, definitely.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about victims, I guess we gotta talk about Cardi B victims then. Oh, I thought we talked about
Robert Kraft. We ain't talking about him.
We didn't get to Robert Kraft.
We ain't get to Robert Kraft.
All right. Well,
Robert Kraft. Just talk about how they dropped the charges.
Well, they dropped charges.
I'll read the article. You talk about the charges they dropped.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right.
It's gonna be cool. This is gonna be so cool.
Well, like I said earlier, they treated Jesse like they treated Robert Kraft.
But Robert Kraft is a pimp. I'm joking.
I mean, Robert Kraft. They dropped charges against Robert Kraft.
Yes, they did. Praise the Most High.
They literally did the same thing with Robert Kraft as they did with Jesse Smollett.
Hold on. Well, Robert Kraft didn't lie. He kept quiet.
No. I said they did the same thing with him.
Okay.
As far as the
not the same situation. Okay.
They didn't charge him. They dropped the cases. They made him pay a penalty.
Okay.
They made him. Jesse was $10,000. I don't know what Robert Kraft's was.
No, it was
And then they made him do. Then they made him do community service.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually standard rich guy protocol. Rich guys don't see jail for stuff like this. I don't understand the big deal.
Not necessarily.
Class 4 felony is a glorified misdemeanor. Can we keep it funky?
I mean,
a class 4 felony, dog. Not 3.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not 2.
Didn't a white woman who does now do a cooking show with Snoop Dogg do a year in prison for a class 4 felony of cheating on her taxes and frauding the economic system as far as lying about certain funds that she transferred
inside information
did she not?
Inside information on the trading market is not a class 4 felony.
It's not? No, why does she do it? Yeah. It's not something like that. Something like a class. It's high. You can get a max of 25 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, you understand Jesse had 16 charges brought up against him.
Yeah, which was dumb. I know that.
Right. So she probably had multiple charges brought up against her.
Yes.
So she probably did multiple things.
Yes. By removing
that's probably so when they gave her they offered her the year, she probably just took it.
Yeah, because it wasn't. I mean, it was a minimum facility. Let's be real. She didn't do time at fucking
It's not like she was at Rikers.
Yeah, yeah, she was. Yeah, I mean, I guess you. Yeah,
let's keep it 100.
Let's keep it 100. But I look at stuff like that,
and then she didn't do the full year. Okay,
no, she did not.
Let's remember that
she did not do the full year. Martha Stewart did not do the full year.
It seems like, and you know what that thing about serving 85% of your time, that seems like it only applies to black people. Am I tripping? Am I tripping?
I gotta look up stats on that. You might not be. I get the vibe for that as well.
Cause motherfuckers be having 5 years. We'll do 2 of them, and then 2 on probation, and it's like that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna read the article.
Oh, you talking about the Robert Kraft?
Yeah, I'm gonna read the article. I'm gonna read the article. Here we go. See what they got to say in regards to this situation with him. It's interesting, to say the least.
Man, you supposed to have that ready already, man. You making us look bad in these streets, man.
Yep, I am. My bad. Let me get it together.
Man, see, I was ready to go on Cardi B. So, like I said on episode 1 of season 2. I said, man, I honestly,
here we go.
Episode, I said both Jesse or Robert Kraft, I felt like neither one of them should have been in jail. And here we go, boom, both of them charged with dropped. I feel like I'm the Negro Domus out here in these streets. But you did say in the first episode, you did say, man, they handling this investigation the wrong way. I feel like he gonna walk. You did say that.
Florida prosecutors
now he out here catwalking.
Have offered to drop charges
Chicago PD
against New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft and a number of other men charged with soliciting prostitution. Now, this is my thing. A number of other men.
Right.
Who the hell is these number of other men whose name ain't been mentioned? But you mentioned Robert Kraft.
It's not good for the news, man.
Yeah, see, yeah, I'm curious about
this investigation. Probably wouldn't have made the news had it not caught Robert Kraft and it had a golf player, but no one knows his name.
According to a person familiar with the matter, but there is a catch.
Shout out to Drip Culture Apparel. They provide the shirts.
The proposed agreement calls for the men to admit that they would have been proven guilty at trial. Right,
that was part of the agreement.
The proposed deferred prosecution calls for completion of an education course about prostitution and women's rights and completion of 100 hours of community service, screening for sexually transmitted diseases, and also registering to take classes for women's rights and things of this nature, as far as understanding understanding their status in social and political atmospheres and economic atmospheres that don't involve the adult entertainment industry, because it is said that's unhealthy and basically pushes women in a negative direction. Now, looking at that and reading that, I say this because we had a discussion about this the first week.
Yep.
Now you're talking about women and their choices. All right? We discussed that. And you sold me on that. When a woman has made a legitimized, beneficial choice for herself, that this is what she wants to do in her life, that's not for me to judge. That's not for me to take away. And I'm messing with her rights by making it against the law for her to do that when she done said that's what she wants to do. Okay? Now I can tell her in that organization this: you won't do this next to me in my house of worship or my school or my place of business.
You know what? I fully respect that.
I can say that
because I say this. I'll do the same thing with a liquor store.
Right.
Like, if you got a respectable neighborhood, like, you notice there's no liquor stores in the nice white people neighborhoods.
Of course not.
There are no liquor stores there.
That ain't no coincidence.
Right? If you notice that, but you go to every hood, it's a liquor store. It's liquor stores.
Not a coincidence.
Liquor stores. And I said this last season. One of the things that pisses me off is when you go into these liquor stores, they're owned, like some of them are owned by like the Arabics, right? And the whole store is behind the glass. Like you can come into the liquor, like all liquor stores have other stuff like bags of chips and shit like that, right? But these liquor stores, if you want a bag of chips, you got to come to the glass, ask the man for the chips. It's like, are you fucking serious? You don't, like, if you don't feel comfortable in our neighborhood where you feel like we're such animals that you have to put everything behind the glass, we don't need to patron you. I said that last time. They said I was crazy, I was tripping. Oh, that's not a race thing, that's about protecting your business. Da, 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 da. Listen, they don't view you as human. If you don't understand that,
you understand that.
If you don't understand that, you lost.
You lost.
I can't help you.
I can't help you either. This is true. I have to agree with you on this.
Like, no, like, I will not, like, I walk into a liquor store and I walk into a corner store, convenience store, any place, and there's a glass behind the entire store. Now, I understand glass behind the register. I understand that. Mm-hmm. You glass behind the stuff that people steal, like the high dollar value, the high dollar items, you know what I'm saying, such as your tobacco products, or you know what I'm saying, or your condoms, or you know the junkies, they'll steal pills, so you keep those behind the glass. Mm-hmm. So your high dollar items, like, but you got chips and soda behind the glass. Mm-hmm. That's you saying you think we're animals,
right?
But that's just my interpretation.
And
I won't give him a dime.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, now understanding with Robert Kraft, with his situation, with
I completely went off topic. My bad.
No, you didn't. It relates, and I'm gonna connect how. This is how it relates. When you take a situation with a guy like Robert Kraft and a money and popularity thing. You just mentioned the situation where you just said you made the statement that if a person, I want to quote you right, comes into
my neighborhood,
your neighborhood,
right?
Say it one more time. Your neighborhood, and then.
You talking about when I'm talking about the Arabics?
Yeah, the Arabs of the liquor stores and things of that nature.
I was just talking about them because that's the ones I see. But I'm pretty sure other races do it.
You do realize most of these massage parlors are not owned by American men.
I understand that too, but I don't go to massage parlors.
I have. A lot of them are owned by a lot of Czechs, a lot of Russians. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You ever seen that movie Taken?
I'm following you.
All right. Now, when you go to these places, you get treated with this prestige, powerful, welcoming blessing, kind of like, of how they, take care of you there. And they're cool. It's a professional place. And there's none of that prostitution stuff thrown in your face like that. However, if you're looking for it, you know it's there.
You can find it, right.
They don't put video cameras in liquor stores to show you these dudes who got illegal cigarette sales, illegal lotteries, getting dudes hookups with different drugs and stuff like that, drug tips that they get from these goddamn liquor stores and shit. But this shit goes on in these goddamn liquor stores that these Arab guys own. That these Mexican guys own.
It happens outside.
It occurs.
Yeah. It happens outside.
Once again, excuse me all the hell. It occurs. It occurs. But there's no investigations on these organizations like the way they do these massage parlors. But just as much illegal shit go on with some of these goddamn liquor stores that's owned by these foreigners goes on with these goddamn with these massage parlors. Now, why are you surveillancing one so hard and not the other?
Because of human trafficking is
I mean, yeah.
Human trafficking has garnered the attention of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's why.
Okay.
like keep them. I want you to know.
But they also have an organization called Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
I want you to say this.
ATF, do they not?
They do.
Okay, where you think these human traffickers, when they throw these huge parties, when they sell these women, where you think they're getting their liquor?
I don't know about other states, but I know here in Florida.
But where are they getting their liquor? Obviously, the dudes who connected in them with this business. The Arabs, the Czechs, the Russians, whoever that are criminals within these organizations. Not to say that all foreigners who come in our countries are criminals. We're not saying that. Let's get that established. However, let's not
make any accusations.
But let's get an understanding. Let's get an understanding. There are criminals who come in our country because they know it's a money opportunity for them. Let's not be dumb. What you got to say about that?
One, okay, we can't compare illegal cigarette purchases to human trafficking. It's never going to be equal. You get what I'm saying?
No, but that's how a lot of these organizations float themselves. They got to have liquor and cigarettes, and they got to have weapons to protect what they're doing. They got to have entertainment or party favors for these events that they're throwing where they're selling these women, man. They got to have drinks. They got to have cigs. They got to have drugs. And they got to have it. There's a reason why there's an alcohol, tobacco, and firearm division for the FBI. Because they know these things are connected within the criminal world.
But I'm going to tell you this, okay?
Go ahead. Hit me.
In 2014, when I received my CDL, I was in Roadmaster. I was approached by 2 FBI agents who gave me their card and wanted me to contact them. And they did this to everybody in the class, not just me individually. I don't want to make it seem like it was just me, like I'm some kind of informant. They did this to everybody in the class. They gave them, hey, here's our card, here's the number. If you see something out on the road, say something, because there's a lot of human trafficking going on. We're running, we're looking out for that. I'm like, human trafficking? You know human trafficking in Florida? Right?
Right.
That's what I said 5 years ago.
Everybody said that 5 years ago, but now,
right?
You would never utter those words.
So the FBI knew before we knew.
Yeah.
Way before. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they're a little bit more in tune than we are. So I who am I to tell them where to put their resources? If they really felt like tobacco and alcohol and firearms is the issue. But if they really felt like those things were priority, then they would have made a priority.
Plus, it's becoming more complicated with Robert Kraft's lawyer and his organization. According to his staff, when you videotape and a organization is under surveillance, what you must come to an understanding is you have to surveillance and record everybody. Not just those in specific you don't like. Or those in specific who are popular that you want to monitor, that you want to sling under a bus.
Or you get your stripes under. That's what
and that's what goes back to the original subject.
Justice.
Yeah. Who are these other individuals other than Robert Kraft that
who do you think you are, boy?
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to. I mean,
okay.
Because look, you want to get the big name. You want to take him down. I'm the one who brought down Justice Smollett. Yeah, it was a big case. The whole FBI, everybody was over here, and I brought him down. I'm a hot shot around here. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I just
goofy ass down.
I just bagged that old man in one of them 6 Super Bowl rings.
Right. Just your goofy ass down. No, but Robert Kraft is not just famous. His influence is a lot stronger than that of Jesse. For me to think, the media attention that comes to him, not a chance. Not a chance. I promise you. I promise you, it was some anchors who were like, listen, we gotta talk, especially here in Florida, because ain't really shit going on here in Florida. I mean, it's some local murders. Yeah, it's a lot of local murders. That is true. But like, as far as like gossip and rumors and stuff like that, and like celebrities being in the shit, that doesn't happen a whole lot. That's more of a Cali, New York thing. So for that to happen and we not talk about it on the news after the first 2 days is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? That's crazy. It's really like it was swept under the rug. People have forgotten it already. But Jussie Smollett, ooh, not Jussie. Not him. He the talk of the town. You know, if people want to talk about Robert Kraft, I'm pretty sure the anchor was like, yeah, let's talk about Robert Kraft. And I'm pretty sure the producer was like, nah, Boss man said we can't do that. Sponsors say we can't do that. Your show probably sponsored by Kraft.
Thank you.
Kraft probably spent $1 million on commercials.
I mean, the key word is the man's last goddamn name. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Right. Like
the key word is the man's goddamn.
Come on, don't let's not be stupid out here. You know what I'm saying? So you want to keep your sponsors, so you know what? We're not gonna really cover that. You know, it's not a big deal anyway. It's a class 4 felony. What are we doing here? Let's talk about something. Let's talk about other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
it's not that.
You also notice they ain't talking about the Amendment 4. About them trying to change the Amendment 4.
Go in. Go in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If you voted and if you went out and voted last year, you seen on the ballot that Amendment 4 was on there, and Amendment 4 gave the restoration of the vote of convicted felons. And you know, so we had 1.4 people who couldn't vote last year could now vote, right? Some of them took part in this here in our mayoral election, which is beautiful, right? Now they're trying to change it to where if you owe the state any money, you have to pay that back or you can't vote. and listen, this is a Republican tactic. If you think it's just like, oh no, they owe the state, because understand the fines and penalties, the money that they owe doesn't necessarily have to do with
the actual
like it doesn't have to be ordered by a judge.
Right.
If you just simply owe the state, you can't vote.
They owe the state money. Could be child support.
It could be anything. Parking tickets, unpaid parking
tickets,
and you can't vote.
Missed court fines.
You get what I'm saying? And the people, and understand, if you're a convicted felon, you're probably having a hard time finding a job.
Yeah. So
now you got to spend $3, $4, $5, couple $1,000 to vote. Like this is the people who listen, understand. Republican or the Conservative Party, they on average have a higher net worth than Democrats.
Yes,
that's not my opinion. That's just what
it's a fact. The GOP is highly encumbered economically. They are.
So the people who can afford to pay the fines are probably Republicans. People who can't, probably Democrats. They do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be 1.4 million people ready to vote. Now they're trying to shrink the number down.
They've been trying to do that. Kareem Brown said that.
Listen, and it's crazy because as hard as those people fought for the Amendment 4, I was here. I actually went to a rally that they held over them turning at a church across the street from Reebok. They had Michael Eric Dyson here. Even at Ed Waters College, they had Angela Rye here speaking on the Amendment 4. Like, that's how hard. Like, they got those two big wigs to come down here and speak on that. Senator Cory Booker was here talking about Amendment 4. Like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge. They're trying to let you know that Amendment 4, go out and vote, and overwhelmingly it passed. 65% of voters voted for Amendment 4. 65%. The people said they want it, and now they want to change it, man. I should have known that wasn't the end of it. I should have known that was not the end of it. Because they don't play fair. They don't care how they win. They don't care about playing a fair game. They just want to win.
I mean, I look at Amendment 4, it's a powerful thing that could change and revolutionize the system itself and give people an opportunity who made mistakes to prove that they are worthy, trusting, powerful citizens who can make strong, positive decisions to make things a better place in America.
Right.
But everybody don't believe that. I gotta be realistic. That's the reason why they made it illegal for felons to vote.
No. You know what? It's funny. I mean, fun story. You know why they made it illegal for felons to vote? It's a target towards black people. This was actually targeted to Confederates. They didn't want people who fought in the Civil War to vote. They didn't want Confederates who fought in the Civil War to vote.
Okay, break that down. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
That's pretty much my understanding of it entirely. I have to do more research on that. I'm not gonna sit up and lie to you. I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't exactly know that. I mean, I knew a lot of the push for a lot of that came in the early 2000s to try to block a lot of felons from voting. I don't agree with it. I think, should they be allowed to vote as soon as they come out? Of course not. Of course not. When they first come out, give them the opportunity to get some establishment.
Actually, in most states, I don't even believe what you just said.
Yeah.
I feel like the second you come out, you've served your debt to society. Yeah. It's over. You served your debt to society.
Okay.
Your rights should be restored.
This is the reason why you can't do that. And I'm going to break it down to you. It was the 1930s. This man's name was Al Capone. Several years before...
Al Capone was an American?
He wasn't, but he lived in America for a long time and became a citizen through basically just murdering and prostitution and gambling. Now, let me finish. When he came here, okay, Al Capone was pretty much a poor man, but ended up becoming one of the most wealthiest men in America. One of the practically the wealthiest man in America before he got locked up. All right. Now, this is how it relates. During this time, earlier, there was a man by the name of Jimmy Hoffa, who was a Teamster boss who started a thing called the Teamster Unions. These Teamster unions that came together unionized to create a organized corporate initiative that gave all working class people certain levels of rights and privileges that came along with the jobs that they were established to work at, so that they weren't treated like garbage, and made sure that children weren't forced to work at jobs where they were losing fingers, eyes, and toes like they were during this time period.
Yeah, that was happening.
And the organizations that connected, that pushed politically and socially to change these things, were ran by criminals who had the right to vote. And that's what altered a great deal of the working class. Hold on. That's what altered the whole.
Let me stop you.
That's what altered the Italian.
Let me stop you. No. Let me stop you.
Go ahead.
Because you said people who had the right to vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more than that. It's more than just their vote.
Right.
It was their influence.
It was
the organization.
Their organization.
Let's not leave it. No. Let's not forget this. Barack Obama won Senate. His opponent spent, I believe, 1 to 6 more for every million, for every dollar Obama spent, his opponent spent 6. So Obama spent 6 million, his opponent did 24.
True.
Right?
Okay.
That because he was I think it was a stock investor that he was running up against, David something. I can't remember his name right now.
It don't matter.
But anyway,
he ran against Barack Obama.
He ran against Barack Obama for Senate.
Yeah.
Right?
It just says it all.
And he had deep pockets. How did Obama beat him with a much smaller budget?
Yeah.
Organization, right? And when I say organization, I mean special team. You go to people, you get the support of people who are already organized. Unions being one of them.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Special call, what is it called?
Special interest groups.
Special interest groups, right?
Yes.
Like the NRA. Well, if you're conservative, you would go for the NRA.
I mean, why would you name them white supremacist motherfuckers though? First time.
No, you can call them white supremacists or whatever, but
that's what they are.
They're organized.
Yes, they are.
Let's not forget that they're very organized.
They are.
They've had a lot of bills changed in their favor.
They have
via organization.
And there's a lot of criminals.
Like, let's not underestimate them. Like, it doesn't. That's irrelevant because they got it done.
It's relevant because now you understand the fear.
They
want to limit how much control.
You can call them criminals. That is fine.
Right.
But they got it done.
Right. I feel you.
We need to stop acting like we're holier than thou and just get shit done.
I got you. But feel me. This is what a lot of conservatives.
Conservatives would also go to like a pro-choice organization, Baptist churches. I guess that's conservatives would go to a
pro-life. Pro-life, yeah, they're more pro-life.
Pro-life or a white evangelistic church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you go to people who are already organized.
True. Now, this is the fear from both, well, more so conservative, and a little bit of fear from Democratic points of view, that a corporate, organized criminal conglomerate will vote as a person and vote and take over this country if they organize themselves to a degree, enough faculty and enough unity, they could buy out the goddamn country. When actually you have the fear is an organized criminal organization run.
It's not enough.
But it's already that anyway.
They don't have enough. Like I said,
that's the fear. You get. I'm trying to word it right.
I want you to understand. It's still up to the people.
True.
Like I could listen.
But remember, a business hold on. A person.
When you poll these people every year, I swear the way you poll these people, Florida's supposed to be a blue state. The way you poll these people, Florida is supposed to be a blue state.
Okay.
Right?
Ideally.
But every year at the polls, it's a red state.
It's red. It's
DeSantis, Ted Cruz. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the list goes on.
Bill, not Bill Nelson, but a goddamn what's his name? Rick Scott.
Rick Scott.
It's like it's a red state. But yet you see all these liberal white people. Because they're concerned, like they'll tell you, oh yeah, I'm voting Democrat, but then go to the booth and vote conservative, vote Republican.
But you do realize a corporation can vote as a person now, thanks to bills that passed 16 years ago.
Still one vote.
I mean, it's one vote, but how many votes does that count when you're talking about an organization that's made up of hundreds of people? Some thousands. How many votes does Best Buy or Walmart or T-Mobile or Gucci or these organizations that are based out of America now, that really not even American companies, but somehow have sanctioned their way into our country now because we keep buying their products and now have established themselves as citizens? You know that, right? That man's family is now considered American citizens now.
Cool.
Gucci. His daughters, his sons.
Man, I don't know.
So with that being said,
about Gucci.
I mean, I don't either. But look at the political power and social power the motherfuckers have in America. I care about that.
Listen, I
care about that.
Listen, the people with the most power in America are the motherfucking APEC. Like, that's it.
I care about that.
All right, you got the APEC and the NRA. That's who running
Right.
shit.
That's the biggest fear.
Look no further, brother.
Can an organization that's criminally ran come into power and run the country? That's their fear. Somewhat. But it's already that way. That's my argument. It's already that way. It's already that criminals already run. So what you scared of? Another group of criminals worse than you?
Criminals scared of criminals. I mean, you know, but that's always been America's thing.
I mean,
America has always, I feel like America has low-key been afraid of black people seeking revenge.
man, that go without saying, man. That go without saying.
I think they be low-key afraid of us seeking revenge, and that's why they act towards us the way they do. It don't even be necessary.
There was a reason why it was made illegal for a man of color to own a firearm a month after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Well, Congress work fast, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They don't play around, do they? They don't play around. They don't play around, Jack.
But it took them 3 years to because you understand, Emancipation Proclamation went into effect in, was it 1865?
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. The last free slave was June 19th, Juneteenth, right? Mm-hmm. And until 1868, which is 3 years, blacks weren't protected under the law, so they could lynch you with no repercussions. And like you said, they couldn't own a firearm. Mm-hmm. Funny how that works. But they don't understand why we need reparations.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad.
Suck it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Suck it up.
We're forced into shitty sharecropping deals and then ran out by Klansmen. Ran out of time by Klansmen.
Well, some of them. If you was in South Carolina.
Not all of them.
South Carolina people doing pretty good. Somewhat.
Don't do that. Nah, not really.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 with them. It's a lot of poverty, but there's a lot of wealthy black folks there too. Somewhat. Kind of.
Okay. But there's a lot of poverty, right?
Yeah, there is a lot. I can't take away. I've seen the poverty with my own eyes. I can't lie.
I know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to down anyone. Mm-hmm. Like I seen South Carolina has nothing. Mm-hmm. Like, don't. I hate to sound so negative. I'm sorry, South Carolina. Forgive me. You have something. You just. It's a lot of small cities, a lot of rural cities in there.
They have justice. Dylan Roof will die in 6 years. Praise the Most High.
Yeah, I always listen. I do feel like that's justice. I really do. Mm-hmm. However, I always feel weird about clapping or cheering or applauding the death of anyone.
Shit, dude. When Jeffrey Dahmer died, bro, we threw a goddamn cookout so goddamn big in Milwaukee, boy.
Jeffrey Dahmer was doing work in Milwaukee. Bro. Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't even relevant in Florida.
I mean, but I know them. But it's just, I have to equate that with what I know. It's like you don't want to.
Ted Bundy in Florida is the guy who we wanted to, because he was in Tallahassee acting a fool.
I mean, just
killing good, wholesome white woman.
Mm-hmm. But they still like.
Well, he lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's what's crazy, right?
We discussed that last time. They still thought he was a nice guy. Yeah. They still thought he was a nice guy.
Did we discuss that on the show?
We did discuss that shit.
Because I know we talked about it, but I don't know if did that actually make the show?
Yeah, we did. We discussed the Ted Bundy briefly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
That was crazy to me.
Cardi B.
Hey, okay.
Hit it off. You set it off.
Okay.
Tell it.
Okay, so
Tell it all.
So Cardi B has been accused of drugging niggas and robbing them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what the problem is, cause it ain't like she was doing it now. That's what she been did. So can you please offer me what the males have been saying and retort as like their complaint and their grief?
Okay, these how can I word this? Weak ass spaghetti back bitch made simp motherfuckers.
Simp ass.
Have basically tried to compare Cardi B's behavior, ideologies, and practices. They blame them for the destruction of their relationships that they have with black women, claiming that she teaches a cultural idea that degrades and reduces our culture.
You know how to get a bitch mad, don't you?
To nothing more.
You know how to get it bad.
Ghettoism, degeneracy, and ignorance. This is what they've said.
Listen, I'm a Cardi B fan, so I don't even want to.
This is what I say to these simp ass niggas. First off, if a woman who does not know you, does not give a fuck about you, and has more paper than you can ever conceive of having in your whole goddamn life, has that kind of authority and jurisdiction over you, then you don't have no relationship no motherfucking way. Okay? Let's establish that and understand that. Do we agree?
Yes. No. You're not getting an argument at me, but
okay. And another thing.
Oh, but I wanted to add this. I did want to add this interesting caveat: how women are influenced, though. Right? Because I agree with you. I don't think Cardi B is ruining no one's relationship. I think it's ridiculous.
The fuck?
Okay.
Okay.
However, I did have this experience myself. Not with Cardi B. But when I was 20 years old, I had my first son. Me and my baby mom. We were young. We were together.
Okay.
And we were, trying to become parents, and also we were working towards becoming a family, right?
Okay.
One of the things she would watch was this show called 16 and Pregnant, or Teen Mom. Teen Mom. That was the name of the show.
Right.
And she would act like the way she'd be watching the show, and then she started treating me as if she was one of the women on the show, and like she's doing it by herself. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm here. I'm here. Like, why are you acting like you going through what they going through? You not going through. I'm here. The dad ran off on them. I'm here. You realize you live with me? Like, we in this together, but you acting like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not a secret that pop culture entertainment, when it comes in correlation with black people, is mostly geared towards women, because they are the trend setters and followers ideology. It's understandable that they are catered to and pandered to in order to sell a product. Okay?
Okay.
But what we need to do as brothers is improve ourselves and give the black woman a whole nother wholesale product. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when I look at Cardi B, does anything about her offend me? No.
God,
No.
God, no.
When I listen to her lyrics, am I disgusted by anything she just said?
No, not really. No.
Because I've listened to some of these men rappers.
Right.
Who done, bruh, if you look at the rap sheet of some of the shit some of these men rappers have done.
DMX was in the song talking about how he would rape a nigga's daughter in front of him.
Thank you.
DMX said that in the song.
Thank you.
And I have DMX as one of my favorite.
And don't get me talking about don't let me tripping all
time.
Isn't it Rick Ross who came out with that one song about drugging
Put a Molly all in your drink and you ain't even know it.
I mean,
took her home and had a good time.
And all of a sudden, Cardi B is telling you about something that she did in her past, and now she's being judged on that and being looked upon from men's point of view as being this man hater or
listen. If you feel like she's a man hater, cool, whatever. Yeah, who cares? All right. Then you say, but this is what pisses me off when men sit up here and they say that they're victims, and you are victims if you get drugged and robbed. You are a victim, but then you have the audacity to compare what you went through to what Bill Cosby victims went through.
These women did not even know, most of them, that they were on some sort of sexual ideology with this man. First off, with Bill Cosby, they were just drugged and woke up, according to them.
Like,
these niggas went in looking for pussy.
You were raped. Like, these women were raped. These dudes who she drugged, they got robbed.
Period.
First of all, let's be clear.
They were looking for pussy.
They were probably going to buy the pussy, right? Because let's be honest, most regular niggas, they know they don't have a chance for Cardi.
You remember that Pee Wee Herman TV show? Remember Pee Wee Herman?
I remember that.
When they used to do the magic word and all of a sudden, prostitution keeps coming up on this show.
In the words of Dick Gregory, if you dig down to the bottom of everything, right? Most dig down to the bottom of most issues. It all happened around sex, a woman, which is still sex, or money,
which can be connected to all too.
Right?
All three. Yeah.
So when we get down to it, it's a money issue or it's about sex. That's really what it's gonna be about at the end of the day.
Blackmail.
Most issues anyway.
Blackmail fragility. If you that fragile where you're letting this woman's words harm you, stop buying and listening to her music. Start listening to gospel. You know?
Stir up the gift.
Thank you. I mean, when I look at her, it's hypocritical for me to comment and criticize her and not criticize all the rappers and artists that I've admired in the past that have been men.
I mean, listen. That's
how I look at it.
But listen, I grew up, I'm from Florida boy. You know what I'm saying? I love Trina.
Hell yeah.
So how am I like Trina and then
get mad at Cardi B? I like Kaya. I like Kaya. I love Kaya, boy. I thought Kaya was gonna be the shit.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I thought she was gonna be the little Kim of the South. That's what I thought Kaya was gonna be, bro.
Unpopular opinion, I low-key like Kaya too.
Yeah,
can't wait with it. Can't wait with it. Can't wait. So clean. Yeah, I remember that.
I love Kaya, boy. But I mean, I'm not offended by nothing. Cardi. Do I condone her actions? No. Do I look at her actions? Do some of these dudes in that aspect who she did this to, if any of them were ever to catch up with her, to come to the understanding that she did that and killed her, do I feel as though that they did the right thing?
No.
I feel as though that was karma.
No.
It's karma.
It's not.
Once you play that game and do that.
Hold on. I mean, because I steal a couple $100 from you, you think that's worth my life?
Bruh, I've known niggas to kill a nigga over a Chico stick.
Yeah, but she worth money now. So why don't you just go collect what you owe?
Ideology wise, but you talking about a nigga who's sane, who's rational thinking like me and you. A nigga who went on a limb to buy pussy to begin with to put himself in that situation, and now that's done happened to him. I'm not gonna do a framework on his mind.
Hold on. It's rational thinking niggas who buy pussy.
Yeah, somewhat. somewhat. But to be in that situation like that, and that happened to you, and you get vindictive and want to hurt somebody.
Man, I'm one of them niggas who won't respond to a girl in my inbox if she too fine. Cause I'm like, I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you see how George Bush said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Can't fool me 2 times because I've been tricked. You can't trick me again.
Yeah. But I don't condone it. But I'm just saying, watch yourself. Women, no, that's not the way. It's a dangerous game. Don't get yourself hurt or killed out there with that. Or in prison.
No, you right about that.
Yeah.
No, you right about that. Be careful out there.
And brothers, stop buying pussy per se. I guess.
Until they make it legal, don't do it,
Yeah,
okay?
don't
Because
do it.
it's a lot of finessers out here, okay? All right? And then these finessers also have pimps.
Local news.
Or local pimps.
No.
And listen, I know this one pimp. Oh, I ain't supposed to give out names. Never mind. So in a recent election, we talked about this last episode. Mayor Lenny Curry won. I guess you gotta owe him a congratulations because he did win.
He did win.
Okay. And it's not like it was any Democrats running against him, so it's not like I'm mad. So I'm not even mad. Like, it was one person who was running who didn't have a party. I mean, I like the speech she gave, but I didn't too much know about her policy. So you know, I guess congratulations to Mayor Lenny Curry. Also, Mike Williams won the sheriff. Is won the sheriff race. He's
Congratulations to him.
retained as a sheriff. And I listen. I didn't vote for neither one of those guys, but they both won, right? And the fact is, they are the mayor and the sheriff of Jacksonville City, right? They owe an obligation to the city, right? Because they both have these jobs.
True. We
need to hold them accountable. It's been 32 deaths here in Jacksonville, Florida, so far already. Today is March 28th?
Yeah, 29th as of 2 hours ago.
Okay, March 29th. We're doing this in the wee hours of the night. March 29th has been 32 reported murders in Jacksonville, Florida. 10 have suspects.
10.
Right? Last year, News4Jax did an article in December, and December 26th actually, so it's not too long ago, where only 70%, no, I'm sorry, where 70% of the murders in Jacksonville went unsolved. And if you keep in mind, I said they have 10 suspects, 10 primary suspects. These guys aren't necessarily, all these guys ain't gonna get convicted. All 10 of these guys aren't gonna get convicted.
No, they're not.
1 or 2 of them are
have
gonna
some
get
technicalities.
Somebody getting off.
Police not gonna handle evidence.
They're not gonna get all 10.
You know the game.
So it's gonna be even lower by then. Right? By the time they go through these cases, it's gonna be lower than that. However, I digress. People were saying, like, I voted for Tony Cummings, right? And he didn't have much experience as a leader in the lead position, although he did have a lot of degrees in for leadership. The thing is, like, you tell me, oh, I'd rather have a guy who has actual experience. Yeah, let's keep Mike Williams in office. Is failure, now answer me this, is failure experience?
It can be.
Because I remember Loki asking Thanos to go on Earth to help him. And he said, I got experience there. And Thanos asked him, is failure experience?
Failure is experience. I'm going to break it down to you why. Failure is experience because it gives you the opportunity to learn certain mode of operation of whatever it was that you tried to accomplish and failed, how that mode of operation didn't go in its proper sequence because you didn't execute properly or you didn't plan properly. So it gives you the opportunity to plan properly the next time.
All right, Mark.
If given the situation right.
All right, let me say this. Right?
Am I making it?
No, I hear you.
Okay.
Where you can properly prepare after you fucked up.
Right.
So let me get this straight. Donald Trump has a good experience because after he let 400 people in Puerto Rico die, he donated the most money that any American had ever donated. Any American president had ever to Puerto Rico. Is that success? Is that because he learned from his mistake after he let 400 people die?
Oh Lord. No, it's not. But you pick one of the most fucked up analogies you can find to hit me with. But okay, I'm gonna indulge you with this.
I mean, because Donald Trump did give a lot of money to Puerto Rico.
He did
after he let 400 people die.
After he let 400 people die. With that being said,
and like I said, Mike Williams, under his reign, 2018, 70% of those cases, murder cases, went unsolved.
Okay.
And this year, he batting one out of three, barely.
Sad. I consider failure is never in the positive realm, but you got to try to find what you can positive out of it to learn to correct your mistakes. Now, with people's lives, no one wants to learn from osmosis. Let's get that clear, and I'm not saying that that's the proper way. That's a lot of life to be lost for one.
I mean, last year he had a 30% murder solve ratio. Solve murder ratio. This year, it's looking like it's staying around that line, a little over 30%.
So you consider him a failure?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I wish him the best.
No,
I hope he gets it together. I hope we can stop this senseless killing. Now, let me be completely clear.
Okay.
Mike Williams is not the reason for the killings.
Nobody's saying that.
He is not the reason people are killing each other here in Florida, in Jacksonville particularly, I'm saying. He is not. Let me get that
said it right the first
clear.
goddamn time.
Right.
If you look at the news.
He is not the reason people are going out there and killing each other. However, it's under his reign. You got to hold him accountable.
Okay. We on the same topic. I'm gonna show you how I parallel. What's his name? Mr. Brown, Alvin Brown. Mm-hmm. When he made the statement during his campaign before he became mayor, the human trafficking and the pedophilia and the rape that goes on in this city, something has to be done. The numbers are becoming too astronomical. As mayor, I will ensure that women and children will be protected from sexual deviancy and exploitation. I will push to make sure change is made.
Okay.
Rape went up to 150%.
Rape went up 150%. Okay.
During the time frame the man was in office.
Okay.
So would you consider Alvin Brown a failure?
Yes. That's why he's not in office.
Okay. I'm just making sure I understand. Because it's like these numbers, when they tackle these numbers and they say statistics, what's the difference between the statistics?
So let me ask you this, because I'm putting it on the sheriff. You went to Alvin Brown, who's the mayor, who was the former mayor.
When you make a statement.
No. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
When you make,
but if that's the case, then Mayor Linda Curry is a loser as well.
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta put him in that book.
If that's the barometer you're going off of, which is I'm fine. I'm fine with it. But that's the case, then, because I was leaving Lenny Curry out of it. But if we're gonna bring mayors in it, then Lenny Curry has something. You got.
And sling Rick Scott funky ass in the boat too. You sling his ass in the boat too.
Senator. He's senator. Yeah, he's senator. But that's not really his. It's not really his jurisdiction anymore. I mean, it's more of Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, But this is my thing. It's like politically, certain types of politics. Correct me if I'm wrong. on a political level, certain types of politicians get rewarded for certain failures. Am I saying that right?
Explain to me. Explain to me.
Okay, the Rick Scott situation. This man started off state legislature. Then the man started off working in the mayor's office as an assistant to one that in the beginning of his career. Then this man started off as a
he's
chairman.
not starting off. He's transitioning.
Transitioning as a chairman. Then
Transition.
eventually he became governor.
Right.
Now he's in the Senate.
Right.
You talking about a man who just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. But there's all this controversy.
His pockets are getting fatter and fatter.
Yeah, and there's all this controversy surrounding the money he has made, the connections and the ties with
It's not a lot of people who know how to connect politics to their pocket. You get what I'm saying? Like, they don't know how. It's not a lot of people who know how to legislate things to get themselves money.
Okay.
Rick Scott knows how to do that.
But can he stop the bullshit that goes on in the goddamn city? Or
No, he can't.
all he just know how to do is just steal. That's what you're saying, man. Because
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, it's getting ridiculous with this damn man because it looked like he's finna become the next president. It really do look like that.
That'll be interesting. No, he's not. Donald Trump finna run again.
Of course, I'm talking about not the next president.
Talking about 24.
Eventually, I see Rick Scott.
2024.
Yeah, I worded it wrong. I apologize. I see Rick Scott, because Rick Scott is a big Trump supporter. I see Rick Scott becoming president soon after Trump leaves. I see him running. I see him running, man. The Senate ain't nothing left but Congress. You really think he gonna wait to run for Congress and end up like McCain, old as hell, and can't even run when it don't matter no more? You get what I'm trying to say? He gonna do it while he still think he got some gas in the tank. He gonna go for it. Crooked politicians.
He would have more power as a senator than he would Congress.
Explain. Give it to me. Give it to me. Explain that.
I mean, if he goes to Congress, it's how many people there? 200 and how many?
But he can vote to raise his own salary every fucking year. But yeah, I see him as a man that just is not going to stop. But with the success he's had, I haven't seen him share much of that success with the actual people. That's my concern about Rick Scott.
It's funny, right? Poor white people love rich white people. And I don't know why. Because they do not love you back.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't, for the life of me, it doesn't make sense. Think about it. They love Mitt Romney. They love Donald Trump. They love Rick Scott. They don't love y'all back?
Hell no, they don't.
Like, literally, the quote D.L. Hughley, he said, white, if you poor white man and you voted for Donald Trump, that means you hate niggas more than you love your feet. And I'm sorry, he said diabetic. I butchered his joke. Anyway, the point is, like, they vote against their own interests consistently.
So do we. In a way.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you can say we vote against our own interests in a way, either way we kind of fucked because we just talked about earlier, Rahm Emanuel, the Chicago mayor, the piece of shit that he held evidence that put away a cop who killed somebody. Like he was holding off on the tape. They had until they had to force him to release that tape. Right? He a Democrat.
Yeah.
He's a Democrat and did that.
I mean, I know.
So let's not forget that was the senator in Virginia who was wearing the or was it the governor? I believe that was the governor. Anyway,
the blackface.
Who didn't know if that was him in blackface or
but it's in the yearbook of the fucking.
He didn't know if he was in he didn't know if that was him with the blackface or in the Klan's mask.
In the yearbook.
In his medical yearbook.
Yeah. But right below it is his picture for graduation.
Anybody knows how difficult it is to graduate from high school, graduate from college, then then to be going to become a doctor. You see what I'm saying? You know how difficult that is? And so you're completely in your right mind. You were completely conscious when you took that yearbook picture. He's also Democrat, by the way. Just so y'all know, like, white people on both sides, they don't see you as human either way. They don't respect you either way. You just picked the party that's least toxic.
True.
And honestly, it's not about the party and their beliefs. It's getting somebody who we believe, who has our interest, and we use the party as a vessel to get them in office. That's really what it's about.
What do we do about the level of crime in the city of black men?
The direct answer?
Yes.
Jobs. The direct answer is jobs. I feel like we need a program that reaches our youth. Like, shout out to Philippian Community Church. They held Am I My Brother's Keeper? They did a little program. I don't know. I'm not gonna say program, but they did an event. Am I My Brother's Keeper? And where they addressed a lot of the issues. And I think that was really dope of the church to do that. You know what I'm saying? Actually care about what's going on in the community, because a lot of times these preachers just keep preaching about prosperity. If you give this, I'll give you back tenfold. That's really the same sermon every week. And they really don't give a damn about what's going on in the city. They don't care. They just trying to, cover funds.
Okay.
And just say that feel good stuff. You see what I'm saying? But, so it's rare to see churches out, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I don't think the dialogue is enough. I think we need actual, you got to actually get out there and do something. I think part of the problem is it's too much poverty. Like, niggas is in these streets, not because they want to be, it's because they, as a necessity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
So if we find come here young kid, I can show you a way to get some money without doing all that. I can show you how to get some money without, selling drugs. I can show you how to help your mama out without having to be looking out for the cops. Okay. Worry about your freedom. Throwing away your career.
No.
Throwing away your future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, no, I think it directly relates to jobs. Now, for the child who's actually out there themselves, or for their parents who aren't capable of taking care of them. And that's one thing I never understood with black people. Well, all races. Let me not throw that accusation at just black people, but most people I know are black. So I'm going off of most people I know. So I said black. However, like we'll do this thing where we're completely and totally inept to take care of this child. But yet, we will hold on and fight for this child, knowing it's not in the child's best interest. Like if we logically, like, oh, the best place for this child is with me. How? You can't even pay your rent. How? You can't buy food. How? You're on drugs. How is this child being with you the best interest for that child?
Okay.
We have a lot of that. Now I don't think the program I'm thinking about is not going around taking people from their kids. That's not what I'm saying. I just pointed that out there while I was on the subject.
Now this is my take on what we need to do. A job, that's fine, but I have to keep in mind jobs can be fired. In that aspect, that's what can happen to you, or you can be laid off, or there can be some sort of buyout. Now, understanding this, we understand something about black men. We don't control or run anything in our own communities. We don't.
Our own infrastructures and our own types of economic standard for ourselves to provide quality employment for our brothers, our fathers, our uncles, our cousins, as a family thing, as a collective, so they don't have to stick their hands out in some white man's face for him to spit in it. We don't have that. We need more black entrepreneurship in Jacksonville. At one point in time, we had it. Jerome Brown, Jenkins.
Well, here's the thing about black entrepreneurship. Black entrepreneurship,
Marianne's chicken, yeah.
Black entrepreneurship has actually increased over the last few years. The problem is the average amount of income for black entrepreneurs has went from 800,000 to 40,000. That's the problem with black entrepreneurship. It's not making enough money.
Okay. Are we seeking the right?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to why it's not getting money.
Are we seeking the right businesses? Are we seeking the right businesses? Is niggas opening up rhythm spoon companies or some shit? Or
rhythm spoons.
What is they doing? What is you opening up? You know.
A lot of it's like a lot of us get in the same industry, right? But honestly, I don't feel like that's the problem. I feel like you got a quality product, then it's gonna sell, right? I also feel like a quality service, you gonna sell. Like, so the same occupation is not really the problem as it is so much as we can only go so far because of our resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of Diddy and Jay-Z, right? What nigga could probably go to a bank and get a loan to start his own airplane company? Because there's no black-owned airplane company.
This is what we do. There was a group called the Italians and the Irish, and a large lump sum of Russians that came over here too, and Germans that moved throughout the parts of the northern Midwestern parts of the United States. They weren't given jobs. Okay? Matter of fact, in New York, there's a bar called Kazorski's where they still have it up, and they made them take it down a couple of years back. They had it up for a while. It said no niggers and no Irishmen.
Oh, can I say this too? Part of the problem is we need with black entrepreneurship is black people don't shop black enough.
I'm gonna get to that.
But go ahead.
They combined together despite the amount of adversity they faced, and came together, even though these white minorities that came over there were the minorities because they weren't English. They were from different parts of Europe. They combined together as a group. They combined their efforts together to support and back themselves, to get themselves up, business running wise.
Did you know Okay, another fun fact is when Asians came to America, one of the things that they did, because they weren't given jobs either, they did jobs no one wanted. So they opened nail salons, did pedicures, manicures. Shit no one wanted to do, but
Right.
needed to be done. Cleaner services.
Huh.
These are very, these are jobs that people need, but no one's doing.
Right.
So they kind of filled that avenue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I look at that and I say, with us combining our efforts together, brothers coming together and having their investment deals
Written down with an actual business plan and an affirmation for what it is that you want to do, and having each brother who's involved in it have his own set step contribution that basically forms a established order in how things are going to be done. You can get things done in a firm manner that's beneficial if the group works together. A group can start something powerful. Unity. 1 million niggas inside. Omni. That should be the word that we should disperse amongst ourselves as black men coming together for business ideas. Why can't all these different barbershops, all these guys with different barbers, come together as a group all over Jacksonville and start one barber franchise that all of them get a cut over? Can you imagine it? Why can't all these black car dealerships come together and start one franchise or a couple of franchises that are all grouped together in a corporate head that pushes these white boys out here, especially out of our communities? The black man does not control enough of his community economically to have a say-so over his own fate.
And
Am I saying it right?
no, you've articulated it very well. And an interesting thing, quote Jay-Z if you don't mind, don't go die over the neighborhood that your mama renting. Right?
Yeah.
So niggas is out here repping a set, talking about their neighborhood, and you don't even own it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mama can get evicted any day now.
Any day now.
And you about to die over it? Listen, that's goofy shit that I can't condone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's some real goofy shit I can't condone. I can't.
Yeah. We want to give a shout out to Malik Riley. He passed on Monday. He was shot and killed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. My condolences to the family.
My condolences to mine also. May the Most High find you forgiveness and paradise in a new and beautiful life from this world. I mean, we have to come to an understanding that these murders and these deaths, brothers, these are truly distant cousins and family members of yours that are dying. If you are black, you are connected to these people that are dying. You think you ain't connected to them, you think they ain't worth a damn, you think they just came into being and they got what they deserve, it is, letting animals kill animals. You confused any damn way. And we're not talking to you. Who we talking to is the brothers out there that understand all black people are connected. We start first with being accountable with black men and their actions and what we do. Commanding an understanding of us being there, number one, with our families. Who is our families? Our mother, our sister, our aunt, our brothers, our cousins, our nieces, our nephews. And they help us correspond and work together to build a greater, better family that we can contribute to make our family expand. That's why they help us find proper mates for ourselves. Now, if you want to do it on your own, go out there and give it a shot. Go ahead. But you have to take into account, once you do this and your child is born and he ventures out and it doesn't work, the possibility of your child losing his life to the streets because the streets is raising him and you're not there. Okay? And a lot of us are in the boat where we're disconnected from our sons and our daughters. Let's make a stronger reconnection to come back and get connected to our children so they don't suffer murder and death or possibly lynchings by the damn police. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you this much, and I'm going to add this to this, black men. Please stop having children with women of color, African American black women, out of wedlock. Stop having them. Stop doing it. Not stop having children with them. Stop having children with them out of wedlock and not being married, because you're creating target practice for the fucking police.
I do think people should stop having children out of wedlock. Not because I think they're creating target practice for the police, but more so because it makes your life easier, honestly. Honestly, God, I'm gonna be honest with you. When you know this is the one you're gonna be with for a long time, you can plan accordingly. You can start making arrangements, doing things for yourself. Plus, it's cheaper to keep them. But so if you having babies by somebody you barely know, it can be troublesome.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, and I'm not here to talk about anybody down any situation, or I'm just saying, like, it's easier when you and that person on the same court. Yeah, sure, the sex feels great that night, but everything has its consequences.
Notice I did not say don't have children with them, period.
Right.
I said out of wedlock.
Right. Have
For all you simps out there looking to stab holes in my shit, get your ass. I ain't say nothing derogatory about black women, man. Get the hell out of here. I didn't.
No.
I said something derogatory about your behavior.
Please. Make more babies.
Yeah.
Just
do it in the right
have
form.
Commitment.
Have commitment. Have monogamy and commitment.
Now listen, I'm somebody who had children out of wedlock.
I am as well.
But I'm telling you the best way to do it. I'm living proof of why you should listen to me. And
so am I.
What I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just telling you. And that's not to say that, because I don't want nobody thinking my baby mamas are the worst. I'm not talking about, that's not what I'm not.
That's not what I'm doing either.
Not what I'm doing. I'm just saying it's a lot easier and it's better for the child if y'all two are together and you're in the same house, and you can feel that love from a mother and that discipline from a father, and an example of a man and an example of a woman, and how two people are supposed to love each other. I mean, I think it's important. It's my personal opinion.
I'll let you go ahead and read this one.
Alright, CVS to sell tropical CBD products made from cannabis extracts. Okay, what you think about that, man?
Okay.
Because Florida is now a medicinal purpose state. And although Ron DeSantis, these Republicans not trying to let that thing go.
I was about to add that they hate it. Okay.
But the people voting on it, man.
Let me read the article first. We're gonna start by reading the article. CVS Pharmacy will start selling hemp-derived cannabidiol or CBD products in 8 states. The products will be sold in 800 CVS stores across Alabama. Good God. Colorado, of course. I don't even have to mention that one. California, Illinois, Indiana, I'm surprised, Kentucky, Maryland, and Tennessee.
Maryland is a very progressive state, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it's to some aspect. Yeah. It will be sold as a cream spray.
They keep re-electing Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
And he ran independent. It's only 2 independent senators.
However, can that be called insanity because you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome?
No, I think Birdie's doing a good job, though.
You think he's doing a good job? Okay. We are carrying hemp-derived CBD products in select states to help meet consumer demand for alternative care options. CVS Health spokesperson Mike DeAngelis said hemp plants are a close relative to marijuana, as both contain cannabinoids. Hemp does not contain significant amounts of THC to the psychoactive component of marijuana. It does, however, include components with medicinal benefits. Societies have jumped far, far ahead of science, said Dr. Margaret Haney, a professor of neurobiology at Columbia University Medical Center and director of Columbia's Marijuana Research Laboratory. There's actually a such, what the world?
Of course.
And tax money pays for this shit?
Of course.
Lord have mercy. But they throw the dope man in jail, right?
Cause he black.
But they throw the weed man in jail, right?
Cause he black. Or
they all in college. They all on college campuses experimenting with this shit. Oh, go ahead, my bad.
It's cause you black or you poor.
Okay. So it's showing up lotions
or both.
Pretty much, right, or both. Any form of product one can use. There's a lot of different ways one can use CBD. This new wave of product is selling unapproved products with unsubstantiated therapeutic claims is not only a violation of the law, but also can put patients at risk if it's done the wrong way. We're going to walk slowly, but this is something we think our customers will be looking for, CVS Health CEO Larry Merlo told CNBC. We're not going to do anything that's going to endanger anybody's lives or have the state look at us in a derogatory form or fashion. Well, too late, because you're already doing that. They fighting you. But I look at this and I say, okay, definitely some positives with that. As far as Colorado, when they did their big cannabis run, do you realize it raised their state GDP by 10 points? And created, yes, and created more than 250,000 jobs.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Now, what's the downside? What's the downside?
More DUIs.
There you go.
But that's actually a good side, because that also grosses the more money.
Yeah, kind of do. What's your take on it?
On what?
CVS says more than 100,000 jobs will be created throughout the country. In each state.
No. I feel like marijuana should be legal. I feel like honestly, I feel like the government owes people who they put away for years for marijuana charges. Like, I feel like they owe them.
Yeah. If you letting them experiment on college campuses and labs.
I'm just saying, like, back in the day when people would go in jail for having large amounts of marijuana, these motherfuckers ain't have that stuff they got now. Like, these are hybrid weeds, different strands of much stronger cannabis. Like, they was smoking Reggie back in the 70s.
I'm gonna ask you this question.
They was smoking Reggie back in the 80s.
I'm hearing, have you ever been through some of these small towns throughout the rural South?
Some of them.
I'm hearing gossip and rumors of niggas doing a year for a fucking roach.
Okay, yeah, that happens. I mean, because it's a misdemeanor though. It's a misdemeanor.
Year?
You can do up to a year. The most you can do for a misdemeanor is a year.
For a fucking roach?
Yeah. They're gonna give you the maximum. Cause you black, nigga.
This is ridiculous.
Nigger. Hey, what's crazy? Okay, it's funny because I say nigger.
I thought a nigga was pulling my dick when he told me that shit. I'm like,
oh boy. Would you like Terry Crews and you just stood there, or did you fight him off?
I fought him off. I was like, man, get the hell out of with that jazz, man. No way in hell, man. Are you serious, man? A year for a roach? A roach?
Nah, that happens.
It happens. Jesus, man. Yeah, the peace be unto him. All right, crazy.
He's so dramatic.
All right. Woman sues Harvard for use of slave photographs.
Okay,
you hit that one.
Okay, so
this one.
All right, so this woman. Do you have her name? I don't want to disrespect her.
I got her name.
Okay, so this young woman, she's one of the very few families who actually know about her history and their lineage. So she can actually her mother used to tell her stories about her great grandfather who was a slave, and her mother told her stories, and they were, these are just stories passed on from generations. So then she actually, her mom died, so she actually goes and does this DNA test and, does some history and finds out more about it, her history. And then she finds out that Harvard has been holding a picture of her great grandfather, and it's a bunch of grades, but I don't know how many grades to put.
Her name is Tamara Lanier.
Tamara Lanier. And what was the name of her grandfather? They gave him a little nice little nickname or something. Grandpa what? What was it?
Papa Renty's slave owners.
Papa Renty. Yes, yeah, that's what it was. Papa Renty. So like I said, Papa Renty's stories have run through her family for years. So, or is it Renton?
Papa Renty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said, she sees the image of him at Duke, not Duke, Harvard, right? And apparently these images are of her late grandfather, and the image is worth millions of dollars. And the picture is what's the word I'm looking for? It's offensive. Let's just say that, okay? And so, but the Duke, like,
just to get you a reminder, just to get you a reminder,
Harvard,
just to give you a reminder. Remember the coolest monkey in the jungle? Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Harvard has the #1 research department in the entire world. And they never went back to research the family of those of Papa Renty, right? Mm-hmm. So they didn't find out. So they was like, oh, we couldn't find it. We didn't know you playing that. We don't know who this image belonged to, but you know.
Now let me hit you with some stuff of what I know about this situation, and this is gonna trip you the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Listen to this shit. Using the derogatory, at one point in time, Harvard University did not allow blacks there like that.
Well, that's why they have HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
Because we weren't allowed
in many of these major, Brown, Princeton, Stanford, none of these schools. You know, none of these schools we were allowed in. But you look at their history and understand that guys like this, this guy who's supposed to be into white supremacy, if Harvard claims to be so progressive and forward thinking in its ideologies as an established educational organization, why are they letting guys like this dude who are known to be white supremacists speak and do their thing there?
Well, I thought that was old. I didn't realize that was new. I thought that was old. I didn't realize that was new. Harvard has Harvard dropped the ball. Okay,
they did.
They dropped the ball.
Now, do they support white supremacy?
Apparently so. If the whole point of this picture is to serve that blacks are genetically inferior. Yes, they are clearly so.
So we're in clear. This is not something to teach a African American history class or to teach something of human rights and bonds. No. As has been.
I'm pretty sure it's some kind of research study program that they got going on.
Whatever. But these places of education, it's more. feel me for a second.
You're surprised rich white people are racist and have.
It's not just that the people of are you
are surprised
about
that,
the people?
Well, hold on.
Young.
You're surprised that educated white people still have such a foolish ideology.
Yes.
Let me stop you for a second. Hold on. Let me stop you for a second. Do you realize that David Duke, former Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, had a master's degree?
He did. I know that.
Right?
I know that.
So, like, book smart and common sense are completely
different things. I know that. But I'm seeing connection. Remember that lady, the white lady, the white nationalist that was teaching in school that had all that white supremacist propaganda on this podcast that she said, where she made all these old derogatory, messed up statements about blacks and
the teacher,
yeah, you know. And I'm looking at this stuff, these people that are out here in this information. Now let's flip it. We're black men, bruh. If we got online and said half the shit these motherfucking white folks say, we wouldn't even have a job.
Well, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie, bro. I'm not gonna wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. The same goes for them. They just don't get caught. The second they get caught saying something, they're out of a job, right? Problem is when you got some guys who say racist stuff and they can't be moved from their position because they don't have jobs. They have ownership. See what I'm saying? Like, no one had a problem with Mark Cuban when he said, them people did find it controversial when Mark Cuban made the comments, oh, if I seen a bald head white guy with a bunch of tattoos walking down the street, a bunch of tattoos and piercings walking down the street, I cross the street and keep walking. And if I seen a black kid with a hoodie, I cross the street, keep walking. And like, no one had a problem with it because they equated a black kid wearing a hoodie to a white guy, bunch of tattoos, a bunch of piercings.
With a shaved head.
Right. The fact that you put these two in the same conversation is a problem, right? So that him as an employee who employs a lot of black people is, I mean, but who's gonna remove him from his position? See what I'm saying?
Are we holding people of education to a high enough standard to educate properly to the point where there's no bias?
We need to hold our people with higher education to a higher standard. That's what we need to do.
Okay.
Honestly. Because W.B. Du Bois believed it was the duty of the educated blacks to lead the non-educated.
At one point in time, I thought that way too, but
we can't rely on that.
We can't rely. Yeah. We're coming to an understanding we can't rely on that.
And the reason I say that is not because, one, let me be honest with you, I know a lot of motherfuckers with degrees that are stupid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you book smart. You give them a test, they'll ace it. But goddamn it, you put them in the real world and they, like, what are you doing? For a lot of people, school is just debt. You go there and you know, at best get a job that makes $60,000 a year, and you accumulated $100,000 in debt. You probably never pay it off. And then, like I said, you're making $600,000 a year, and then you want to get a home. That's another $100,000.
Okay. Now, these photographs, are they historically this was young ladies and they need to give them back? I believe so.
They do belong to the family.
They belong to the family.
But the argument that, because they're being sued, if they go to court, the argument that'll really get them fucked up, but it's probably the only argument they can use, Harvard, is, well, he was property, so it didn't belong to him.
And that's something a white person would say in a situation like that.
Say that, right?
And it would be so goddamn
It's
controversial,
like,
bro.
Right.
You know how many people will... But it's
give her the photograph, cut the check. You can't, because you ain't gonna be able to get away with saying that. But that's essentially what that's the only thing I can think of that they can go off.
Now, I'm gonna touch on it one more time. I compare it to the situation with Gucci and this shirt that they made, this shirt jacket they made that folds up and goes over your mouth. That's black, that has red lips painted over the mouth cover.
The blackface sweater.
Yeah. I compare it in some ways to that, and I'm gonna explain how. Harvard has been doing a lot of posts throughout social media to a lot of people who have applied for their FAFSA, who have been getting a lot of good grades on their school emails from high school, and a lot of references and referrals over. And a lot of these people have been people of color. And they've done a lot of complimentary things to make it seem like they're so adaptable and progressive in ideas towards blacks with these things that they're trying to sell and offer these intelligent young black people to go to Harvard. But when we say to them,
Harvard sounds like the Democratic Party.
You get where I'm getting at, but then you see this little stupid shit and you see the underlining of what it is with that. And how I connect that with Gucci is this way. Is it worth your soul to still keep purchasing and providing finances to these organizations that support white supremacist ideologies?
Well, depends. Y'all gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A?
I don't fuck with Chick-fil-A.
No.
Right. I like Zaxby's, me personally. Right?
No.
And Popeyes.
Right.
And Popeyes, of course.
I mean, because
me personally,
stop going to, but y'all like fiends. Fiends for branding. Oh, I can't stop wearing the Gucci. Oh, it feels so good against my body. Like goofy shit like that. Like, man, come on, man.
I mean, I look at it, Harvard is just a school, Gucci is just a clothing line. One is just a building, one is cloth. Let's support our own.
See, when yeah.
Yeah, point blank period.
Yeah.
Shaq and Papa John's, hit it.
Okay, I talked about this on one of the episodes last season. The owner of Papa John's, CEO, has retained control of his company. One of the things that they're doing, after he used the N-word last year he used the N-word and he stepped down. I believe that was June. No, it was June. I think it was like May or April or something like that. And around November, December, he got control of his company again via lawsuit. Now they're doing public relations and trying to rebrand the image of Papa John's and make it not so racist. So they grabbed the biggest, blackest, most lovable guy they could find. Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, they did. They pretty much did.
So they did. Like, they're trying to use Shaquille O'Neal as a puppet to clear up their image, but they do need a image cleaning if the company wants to stay around. I mean, I know people who still eat that bullshit, but nigga, not I. I could never. Yeah, who fuck with me?
Now, this is my question to you. With the proper investors and the proper backing, kind of like the way Jay-Z did with the large amount of ownership he has over the Brooklyn Nets,
Oh, he don't own the Brooklyn Nets.
He don't own. No, he doesn't own. But he owns a large percentage.
No, he don't.
Like a 25%.
He don't own none of it now.
Oh, he don't own any of it now.
Oh, he sold his shit.
He sold his share.
One.
Well, at one point in time, he owned.
Stop.
Okay.
He never was majority owner. Never.
Never was a majority. Okay.
He was never majority. He was a minority owner. Right.
Like what? 25%, something like that.
I have no idea the percentage.
Okay.
But that guy from Russia who came about the team and moved the team to Brooklyn, he is a majority owner. He got a little deeper pockets. He's worth several billion. While Jay-Z's just worth one.
Okay.
But however, now, two, Jay-Z has Rock Nation, the sports agency. You can't have a sports agency and be an owner. That's a conflict of interest. So he sold his shares of the team.
Can Shaq put himself in a position to own the whole thing?
No.
Why do you? Why?
Shaq cannot.
Tell me why he can't.
He can't.
Why can't he?
He doesn't have a liquid asset.
He don't have enough liquid assets.
No. It's that simple.
It's that something. He so that black power move we're looking for with him with that ain't gonna happen like that.
No. No. Not coming to this big, no.
Now, check this out. I got your opinion on that. Dig it now. Byron Allen. You know he bought the Weather Channel, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Pretty much. Byron Allen's Entertainment Studios acquires the Weather Channel TV network for $300 million, even though the actual net worth of the Weather Channel,
The estimated value of the network was how much?
the estimated net worth of the actual channel was about a little over 200 million. However, it had many other facets of other smaller channels and other types of networks and other streaming avenues that allows you to connect it with it through social media and email. You know the deal.
Right.
Phone applications that actually boosted it up to a little over $1 billion. But he was able to nail it for 300 million with some backing from some of his other owners and investors that he basically was in business with throughout the years, because he's got some money and funding within the whole comedy network, comedy channel and all that. He's also been a comedian for a long time, being involved with NBC. A little bit of work with CBS. Never worked with Fox, but Fox has always offered him money. You know what I'm saying? Fox don't always offer him money, but he ain't never took it. Now, Byron Allen will have reported in 2 more years be worth over $3 billion in 2 more years. Can Shaq put himself in a position to run shit with Papa John's the way
I guess.
Because what makes Papa John's worth so much is the avenues that Papa John's controls.
What I'm saying is
distribution.
What I'm
right?
saying is,
am I right?
No, I get what you're saying. But you're acting like you're putting him, enlarging him into a CFO position.
Right. Right now he's just a He basically he's an overpaid salesman and a spokesperson.
Now what you're asking is, can Jared from Subway eventually take over Subway? And I'm gonna tell you, absolutely, emphatically, undeniably, no, he cannot do that. Does not have the liquid assets to do so. And he said you can find a team. You still gonna have to. You gonna have to find a lot of cash, man. You gonna have to find some real deep pockets, not like other NBA players deep pockets.
Because that's what you get what I'm trying to, and that's why I'm hitting that.
Real money.
But
one of the
combined,
well, Steve, maybe Steve, what's his name, Ballmer, the owner of the LA Clippers. He's reportedly worth about $20 billion. He used to own Microsoft. He bought the Clippers for $2 billion. Right, no help, nobody else, all on his own.
A Christmas gift to himself. We buy a PlayStation. This motherfucker buy a whole goddamn team.
Bought a team in LA. You know how hard that is? Only thing harder than that is buying a team in New York.
Interesting.
Right.
Mozambique, 200 people killed
Oh yeah.
We discussed that.
The typhoon.
Oh, cyclone.
Oh, cyclone. I'm sorry.
Something of that. Yeah. Very, very bizarre storm. I'll read some of the news reports from it.
Yeah.
And get it so we get a clear understanding on exactly what happened.
I still don't really fully understand. I just know it's 100 people missing.
Let's get the full scope of the details. The death count of Cyclone Idai soared past 200 in Mozambique on Tuesday. May the Most High forgive them of their sins. May the Most High grant them paradise. But the United Nations said experts fear that total could eventually surpass 1,000 as emergency personnel continue to discover bodies along southeastern Africa. Mozambique President Filipe Nyusi said more than 200 deaths have been confirmed. One day earlier, he said the death toll could likely rise above 1,000 in nearby Zimbabwe. 98 deaths have been blamed on the storm that came ashore as a Category 3, that country's Ministry of Information, Publicity, and Broadcasting said Monday. The cyclone, being called one of the worst ever in the southern hemisphere, is still being played out as a rescue crews continue to plug victims from high flood water. When the last time have you heard of a storm of this magnitude hitting Africa?
Never.
Never.
I've never heard of this.
Like, good God.
Yeah, I don't think it's a way you can be prepared for this or have a plan for something like this.
The United Nations reported that victims continue to cling to rooftops while waiting for help. Certain senators and governors who have asked for help for the nation have said this reminds us of Hurricane Katrina. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
The United Nations said roads and bridges have been washed away, hindering rescue efforts. We are talking about a massive disaster right now, where hundreds of thousands and millions of people are potentially affected. Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs said we need all the logistical support that we can possibly get. The International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies reported at least 400,000 people in central Mozambique are homeless because of the storm. Man, good God.
That's tough.
We always get reminded everything in the world how small and insignificant we are in our problems, day-to-day life. With this.
Like I said, my biggest fear is dying in a situation that I can't control.
Right.
It's like, yeah, and what you said, a typhoon it was?
A cyclone.
Cyclone?
Their wording for their storms is slightly different because they're subtropic, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like, I hadn't seen that like that. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Africa, Mozambique. You know what I mean? And our prayers and hearts definitely go out to them in regards to this.
God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all. All right, and thank you for checking out another episode of the Likeable Assholes podcast, man.
We appreciate you.
We definitely do. Definitely do. Make sure y'all go on Instagram and follow Drip Culture Apparel, providing the shirts, people.
We will give you reviews of Us, the movie.
Yes, we're going to see Us. We're definitely going to give a review. We're going to try to do a live review if we can.
I saw Captain Marvel, by the way, and I'll give you my review next week.
Okay. You want to say, if you want to get into it right now, we can still get into it. We still got some time.
Okay, Captain Marvel. Okay. I went to go see it.
Okay.
It was okay. It was a damn good movie. I love the way superhero films are being done about women right now. Okay. They're not sexist, they're not over the top, they're not melodramatic, and it gives you a sense of purpose of a real hero who just happens to be a female.
You said they're not over the top?
Yeah, they're not over the top and melodramatic.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it better than Wonder Woman? Yes, I believe so. Wonder Woman was good though.
If I'm being 100, I didn't see Wonder Woman.
Go see Wonder Woman.
I gave up on DC a long time ago.
I really like the Nick Fury character, how they explored.
I was just about to say that. The way they did
in the beginnings.
Listen, the way they did Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson actually has range as an actor. And he actually gets a chance to display it for the first time in the MCU. which is cool. I mean, other than the few sentences he has as Nick Fury with the one-eyed guy. You know what I'm saying? But you get to see a young Nick Fury in action.
Right. Now, I only had one problem with the whole story.
What?
The whole confusion about her trying to understand who she was, and then the ending of it for the spoiler. Now, we come into understanding that she's going to play a big role in Avengers Endgame. Understanding that, this coming to be with this whole origin story we did with this, when we incorporate her into this new Marvel Cinematic Universe, how are we going to employ a difference between her and the rest of these other characters that we see that's going to have like a continuity? Are we going to have a consistent continuity?
You talking about how you gonna balance who's stronger, who's the dominant person?
Storyline, like the things that have happened in basic old Marvel movies up until this point. There's a lot of things that are.
She's been in different galaxies fighting, so that's pretty much the story we hear.
Okay.
She's been at war. Remember, that's pretty much what she was doing. That's pretty much the gist of it. They probably not gonna go into details, at least not this movie.
Right, not this movie. Okay.
Okay, but what I tell you is, one thing is I noticed her power.
Yeah.
Right? Not just because what she did against pretty much a bunch of nobodies, but if you've seen Thor Ragnarok, you remember Thor had reached ultimate Thor's power, where he no longer needed to summon his hammer, or was it anger or whatever they call it, Mjolnir, or his new axe. He didn't need any one of those things to summon his thunder. Thor Ragnarok is when he actually becomes the god of thunder and does not need a catalyst.
Right.
Right? Now, I'm sorry, if that's a spoiler for you, I'm sorry, man. The movie's 2 fucking years old, man. I can't help it.
Thank you. The movie's too goddamn, man. I mean.
All right. So him, even though he reaches this point, the girl presses the buzzer, he gets knocked out. He can't move. Mm-hmm. He never snatches it off. The girl has to take it off for him. Right? And the girl has to take it off for him. Now, the cool thing about that is because the same device is on Captain Marvel.
Right.
Right? When she was winning, they used the little device to knock her out. But the thing is, she overpowered it, right? And then they tried to use it. She just crushed it, threw it on the ground.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Mm. Thor was never able to do that.
No.
So that shows you what she is as far as power already.
That's right. I get that. I perceive that a very, very powerful character. But it's like fitting her into this whole Marvel you done split the Avengers with Avengers Civil War. Now they're back together somewhat with Endgame, but they're splintered and destroyed somewhat again. And now you have this new powerful character. Where's going to be the starting? So it looked like they killed pretty much everybody damn near in Endgame.
I mean, Thanos wiped out literally half of the population in the universe.
So it's like, how are you going to bring that in effect of bringing a story to bring it back? It's going to be interesting. That's what I'm curious about. But Captain Marvel's a really good, cool movie. That's the only thing I was concerned about with it. The special effects were not over the top and not too much CGI. It left a lot to the imagination and gave you some experiences that were fulfilling. And it's a cool movie. The dialogue was straight. And here's another part for all you who are nostalgic. That's a word I'll use lightly. It takes place in the 90s. The soundtrack is hell, almost as good as Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. If you love 90s and 80s music, you'll hear a lot of it in Captain Marvel.
Yeah. The dope sequence when she falls through the Blockbuster.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia.
Total
You know what I'm
nostalgia.
saying? Yeah. When I saw that Blockbuster, that brought back so many memories, man.
Yeah,
Remember
man.
Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Blockbuster?
A lot of good nights at Blockbuster, man. Make it a Blockbuster night. Remember that?
Yeah, remember that shit? They used to get a free popcorn every time you brought a movie back so many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good, man. That's all we got for tonight, though.
Yeah, yes. Drip Culture Apparel. Y'all make sure y'all show some love, man. Go follow the page. Go like it. It's on Instagram and Facebook.
You can reach me through this guy here.
Yeah. Yes. Reach my man Mark through the Likeable Assholes page. Is LA Podcast. The LA Podcast. Just message or if you're checking out the podcast via audio, you can just link it to your Facebook, and you can comment. You can comment on the episode. We've had a couple people do that already, and it's cool thing. It's a cool thing. You give us your take, and we definitely appreciate your perspective and your views, and we want to hear back from you. So.
Yes, we do. Give us your input and keep watching. See you next week. Love you, black folks.
Love you too.